and good day to you all. My name is Sean G. Morris, and I would really like to thank you for coming back to listen to another episode of my podcast called Bravery Within. I would like to also thank you for spending the next 45 minutes or so listening to my weight loss journey and everything else that goes right along with it. The mental changes that I've done, the emotional changes that have gone through. I'm hoping that maybe some of the information that I bring to the table here is going to be able to help you or somebody that you know in some way to make things just a little bit easier. I thought we would do, it's like I said in the other podcasts and stuff there, some of the podcasts are going to be very upbeat, some are going to be kind of, we're going to have to address some, tougher things that none of us want to address, and today's going to be one of those. So just brace yourself a little bit. We're going to be talking about 4 different things. A couple of them are a little bit rougher, but honestly, I think when all's said and done, they are very, very necessary to address, so that way it doesn't derail your weight loss journey as you head down the road for this. I'll just explain it, and then we're going to go one by one through these here, and then it's up to you to take the information that I'm providing to see if it's going to work for you or not. So the 4 things that we're going to talk about today in this podcast, first one's going to be building a positive environment. This was very, very crucial for me to get started with. And I'll kind of dive into that a little bit more here in just a minute. Another one is going to be working through past traumas to help you move forward. We're going to basically graze the top of this whole subject, but I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to be talking about negative stuff, past traumas, and different things there in many, many podcasts, because this is so vast. I mean, we're talking about depression, we're talking about loss, we're talking about all kinds of the negative stuff, and it's going to be hard to handle, but I'm going to try to put a positive swing on it all there to try to help you through it there, to allow you to process and everything. The next thing we're going to be talking about is avoiding negative self-talk. That is a very, very, I'm still a work in progress, not going to lie about that one there, but I'm going to bring up things that help me, and hopefully they help you. And the final thing that we're going to be talking about today would be healthy snacks to have around the house, at work, or anything like that. Anything to basically help you, continue on with your journey and not, there's so many, so many distractions and so many temptations. So I'm going to show you what I do, or probably tell you, be a little easier. It's going to be a little hard to show you on just, my voice, but I'm going to talk to you about the healthy snacks that I keep around, and then you can work in your own to make your weight loss journey a little bit easier. So if this is something interesting to you, sit down, take it easy, or if you're driving, keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. Let's get started here and see what we can do for today. First thing that we're going to talk about, building a positive environment. As I have covered in the bases many, many times, is I am an introvert. I am huge on being home. I am not huge on being out and doing parties, bars, anything like that. If there's more than 2 or 3 people, I start getting very, very nervous. I start getting very closed off. I'm a huge people person. I love talking to them as long as we're one-on-one. But there are times that I can get 3, 4 people in my office and I start feeling claustrophobic. I start feeling trapped. So one thing that I do to get myself through the day, because there's a lot of those times that it happens, is I build a safe zone, a safe place in my home. I do everything that I can to make sure that it's comfortable. Basically it's got, blankets all over the place. There's some pillows. There's some, my furniture. I have everything. When you come in, even the colors in the walls are all picked to basically put a calming feel in the atmosphere. So when you walk in, and I've had it said to me many, many times that when people come in, they feel completely comfortable about, oh, wow, I could handle this. I could handle staying here for a long time. And you can see the stress basically just kind of melt off of them. That is what I did to set myself up for success on my weight loss journey. I feel it's very important to, after a very, very long day at work, everybody gets beat up at work. You get, things don't go right. There are just so many things that can go wrong. So what I have learned is to set up a nice area. So when I come home, done. I don't stress. I don't think about work. I don't think about the problems of the world. I don't think about anything else. Everything in my house is set up and designed for relaxation, for basically let the stress come off, let all the negative vibes come out of you, all the way across the board. That's the whole thought behind my house. My house is set up basically like a log cabin because that's what I feel comfortable in is nature. I love being out in nature. I love walking in the grass there, just feeling the grass in my toes and stuff there. I love just putting my feet in a little creek or a river. Just anything like that so you can recharge and allow yourself to heal. And just the more negativity, the more bad vibes, the more all that stuff there that you have rolling through you, I honestly believe it's going to sabotage your weight loss journey, because if you're like me, the more negativity and bad vibes I get, the more depressed I get, the more down I get, and then I start to eat my feelings. We all know what happened there. 300 pounds later, didn't do me any good, so I've had to work overtime to get the weight back off. So some of the things that I have done to set my home up to help me get through things, I've got a couple ideas here. You can use them. Maybe this will spawn an idea for you on how you want to create like a safe zone, a safe place in your house or wherever you want to have it. I mean, it doesn't have to be at your house. I mean, if you want it at a park, if you wanted it in the hills, you want it in the mountains, you want it at just any place where you feel comfortable, where you can allow yourself to be you and feel the negativity basically just roll off of you, it helps in the end. So a couple things that I do to help build a positive environment is I keep all the bad food out of my cupboards. I used to have lots and lots of junk food. I'd spend probably $100 a week in just junk food. That way I could feel better when I got down. I'd go grab 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cookies out of the cupboard, and I would, basically eat my feelings. So by getting that stuff out, it's forcing me to process my pain. It's forcing me to process my grief and hurt. So I have to find a way mentally to get myself in a better spot to keep my weight loss journey rocking and rolling. Every day I learn something new. I'm not going to lie. I believe you need to learn something new, even if it's not on your weight loss journey, even if it's just something at work or a little tidbit of information. It allows you to grow, allows you to continue to be better than you were just a little bit ago. So always try to learn something new. But I keep all the bad food out of my cupboards as much as I possibly can. I have plenty of plants around my house. That way it keeps the house very, very inviting, makes it feel home, keeps it feeling warm. Some of you probably don't have a green thumb. That's okay. Whatever you want to do to try to help create that safe area, that's what you want to do. I have a lot of my own favorite music queued up all the time to take my mind off of food. There are times where even stress-wise and stuff, it'll start to get to you. I have several playlists that I use, and I'm sure you do too. That will help you when you get in a certain mood. It helps either pick you up, it helps you think, it helps you relax. I have so many different playlists for so many different moods that way it helps me through. They're set up and ready to go, so I don't have to try to figure out, okay, I'm going to set up a playlist. Most all of us have them, so that's what I use, and hopefully it helps you too. Lots of books around the house there and stuff there, magazines, anything there to try to help me basically disconnect from the world for a little bit and not think about my rough day or the problems that are going on around in the world, or something as simple as, okay, well, now my truck isn't running right, and what do I got to do about that? I try to do everything I can to try to disconnect when I walk in the house. I basically, as soon as I walk through the door, my mind shuts off, and I just kind of curl up in the house to do my very best of, okay, I've got 12, 14 hours before I go back to work. I need time to decompress and get ready for the next day. So that's what I do. So sometimes I'll read books or I'll read magazines. I have, and don't knock this until you try it, because I'm going to talk about this again and again. I have crystals and stones placed around the house in certain spots there to help keep a calm and relaxing environment. I know some of you out there are now laughing and you're thinking, okay, yep, Sean's officially dove off the deep end and we don't know about him. When I got divorced, let's see here, I've been divorced now 13 years. When I got divorced, my life before that there with my ex-wife, I didn't really know who I was. I mean, I spent more time with her than I did basically being single. So my personality got wound up with hers, my routines, my everything, my mentality, everything basically built, because when you get with somebody, you pick up their traits, you pick up their personalities, they start to intermingle. So when I got divorced, I really didn't know who I was. I went right from, because I got married when I was 22, but we had been together since I was 19. So that was a long time. I was just getting started in life, so I didn't really get the chance to find out who I was. I went through a lot of childhood trauma, so I was still trying to figure and process all that. So one thing I went back to the books, and I started learning about what my life path number was. What does it mean to be a Taurus? What does it mean to be an introvert? One thing led into another, and that led me down the road of crystals and stones in the house there to help keep a very, very light and airy atmosphere. It does work. It's up to you whether you don't have to believe it, you don't have to do it, you don't have to try it. But it works for me, it works for my family, and it's worked for my friends and stuff there. Once they realize the benefits of it, it has helped them. It helps you recenter. It helps the mind fog. It helps you basically stay aligned. So that's one thing that I do, that I keep around the house. So those are the different things, along with Willow, my new puppy. She's 9 months old. She helps distract me and stuff there. We'll play tug of war. We'll play fetch. We'll sit out on the deck. We'll go for drives. She's a great little companion. I didn't buy her to be a guard dog by any way, shape, or form, so she'll welcome anybody into the house. But that's why I got her, was to be more of a friend than guard pup in any way, shape. You could walk in the door with a bunch of chicken nuggets, and I guarantee you she'll show you where the china is. She's just that way. But that's who I wanted, and that's what I wanted in a pup, and she's perfect. So we're still learning. We're still going through the puppy stage, and it's been taxing, but we're getting through it, so little by little. But just keep in mind, whatever you need and or want to have around you to help you get through the rough days, I think setting it up at home is a good place to do it, because it's your atmosphere, it's your vibe. You want to set yourself up to succeed. It's so very, very easy to take the negative route and say, I'm just too fat, forget it, I'm not going down this road, it doesn't pay, nobody cares. Nothing could be further from the truth. There's so many things that I told myself as I was saying, I don't need to lose weight, I don't need to worry about this, I got nobody to impress. My friends and family will be able to tell you that I really didn't give a rip. I'm not going to lie about this. I just didn't feel that I had any reason to keep going. And the more and more I started to analyze my life, I spent a lot of time alone, a great deal of my life alone. I personally find reasons to go up in the hills and get away from people. But one thing that I learned while I was sitting up there, and there's been times that I've heard the wolves howl, I have seen many, many different animals. I've seen fox run across my trails. I have seen elk. I have seen coyotes. I have seen bears. You name it. I've seen it up in our hills, mountain lions. It's incredible to see all this happening, because they're just living. And we take so much on ourselves. We stress about so much. We worry about so much. None of that really does any good for us. All it does is just break down your immune system and make you depressed and down. So I try to stay away from anything that does that. So that's why when I go in the hills, I can see just the pure joy of living. I can see the fish jumping in the lake. There's times that I'll get up in some back trail to where I have no idea where I am, and all I am is surrounded by trees. There's no view, there's no nothing, but I feel that's a great place to heal, and that's for me. What you have to do for you to get to that place, that's what you want to do. It helps me immensely with my weight loss journey. I can't stress that enough there, by going up, getting away from everything, and seeing things from a different perspective. Sometimes I just go up there and I just sit. Other times I'll drive through the hills. I'll spend 3, 4, 5 hours driving around to the roads with the radio cranked to the max, windows down, wind blowing through my hair. It's just very freeing, and as I'm doing that, I can feel the nature's energy coming through me, and it's almost like, okay, I can do this again. I've got another week in me. I've got, I can get my problem solving skills going again. So that's what I do to try to keep my weight loss journey going, because I try to find every way possible in a positive way to keep moving forward. I'm trying to find ways so I don't sabotage myself, because it's very, very easy to do. So you just have to be very careful with it. But I find that having a safe zone at home and setting it up, and so when I come home, there's just no messing around. This is perfect. I'm calm. I'm relaxed. Everything about it is all set up for that, all that way to help me through when I start to stumble a little bit. Then I come home, relax, good to go. So try to find a place like that. And of course, the easiest place is going to be home. But I know not everybody's single like I am, so it's harder to get like an area for your own, but maybe just a room in the house or the basement or just anything like that where you can allow yourself to zone out, you can de-stress, you can just relax. Allow yourself, your body, to heal a little bit and stuff there, instead of running for the cupboard like I used to and downing a half a package of cookies or something like that there, or drinking 6 Mountain Dews back to back. Anything bad like that. So make sure you set yourself up to succeed, to move forward, and not to derail your whole weight loss journey. So take those steps, figure out what it is. And the nice part about it is most everything that I've done doesn't cost a lot. I'm not going to lie, I don't make a lot of money. I struggle to pay the bills week to week, just like everybody else. I don't have, tons of money in the bank. But what I have learned is it's the simple things in life that help pull you through. Sometimes just being there for somebody else, having somebody there for you, finding a favorite TV show that you like, that you get into and stuff. I listen to a lot of classical music. I'll be honest, growing up, I would have thrown up listening to classical music. There's no way in the world I would have listened to it. But in my journey to learn about myself in the past 14 years, being separated and divorced and everything else, I had to basically go back and find out who I was. So one of the things that I actually really liked is classical music. There's other times I'll listen to Celtic music. I love the bagpipes. And then I'll just roll into 80s music, and then I'll do love songs, and then it's country, and I'm all pretty eclectic. I'm all over the place. So it's basically whatever music's playing is what my mood is. So everybody knows when they come in, they'll just listen to the music and go, oh, well, he's in a good mood, or oh man, maybe I should just head down the road. I don't think this is going to be a good day. So set someplace up for you that will give you a safe zone, allow you to recharge, and then come out fighting again, so that way you don't derail your whole weight loss journey. The second part, this is going to be a little darker, sorry, but I honestly believe we really need to talk about this, and I'm only going to just basically scrape the top of everything. We'll get into, I plan to have a whole podcast built around this and stuff there, but the second part of this podcast is working through past traumas to help you move forward. I have said many, many times in my other podcasts and stuff there, I was raised not to talk about your feelings. That's kind of the way it is in this area. You have to compartmentalize everything. You just don't process it. You just lock it away, pretend it doesn't exist, and you move forward. I do not recommend that in any way, shape, or form. But in my area, that's how men were raised, and they still are raised that way. I tried to be real careful about that with my son when I was raising him, because I wanted him to be able to make better decisions than I have, know that there's help out there if he need it. But honestly, I think this is probably the toughest part of the weight loss journey. I know you're all thinking, well, you got to count calories, you got to watch your food intake, you got to, there's so many different steps that you have to do. But honestly, I think the mental game, as I've said before, is actually the toughest. And part of the mental game is the past traumas, the hurt, the losses, and everything else that you have gone through. I have gone through my fair share of losses, and I know you have too. There's no doubt about it. Everybody's been hurt. I mean, the Poison song, Every Rose Has a Thorn, to me really hits home and stuff there. I love the song. But there's so many different ways of getting hurt in this world, and it's sometimes tough to see the positives there, but they're always there. You can always look at a glass and see it either half full or half empty. It depends if you're an optimist or a pessimist. I've been both through my life. I'm not going to argue that point. Right now, I'm on the optimist side because I found that there's a lot more joy. There's a lot more good things that happen to you. I fully believe in karma. She can be kind of mean at times, so I like to stay on her good side. I've seen her personally level out the playing field, and it's like, ooh, I'm not going down that road. So I make sure that I always take the high road. I always try to hold the door open for somebody, tell them they have a good day. Just anything basically to try to help our fellow humans out there. That's what I try to do. I'm not the best at it, but I sure do work at it. I always try to have a smile on my face, try to have a joke in my back pocket for somebody that's having a bad day. Just anything like that to try to help everybody moving forward, because we all have enough negativity in our lives, and that's one thing that I wanted to try to not have so much of, even though it's really, really hard. I mean, you can turn the news on and look at that and you go, ugh, okay, well, there's a shot in the nose right there and stuff. That kind of stinks. But I don't watch a lot of news anymore. I got to be honest, it's so depressing. So what I do is I try to stay away from it and try to focus on positive things. My music's one of them. Like I said, my drives in the hills is another one. But no matter what you do, I think honestly, even if you only just start the process, I honestly think that's enough there to get you going, where it's not going to mess up your weight loss journey. But start processing your past trauma, the loss of a loved one, or something bad happened to you, or you lost something, or there's so many different things that can happen to you. And I've got a laundry list, a list as long as my arm. I've been down the road and stuff there. I've attempted suicide. I guess it didn't work because I'm still here. Been proposed to and then dumped right after when that all happened. Been through the divorce, been through bankruptcy. In my jobs and stuff, I have been stabbed. I have been shot at. They're stalked. I mean, you name it. I've got a laundry list, and I'm not going to go into all of them right now and stuff there. But there's so many reasons and so many things that you can say. It's like, well, you know what? All this bad stuff happened to me. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go down that pint of ice cream now and chug down some sort of soft drink. I did that, and it really doesn't help in the end. It helps you in the moment, but it doesn't really help, trying to get to that finish line of where we're all trying to get to. So I've just found that being more positive, being more upbeat, being there for people, it's not always reciprocated. That's the hard part. That's the first thing you've got to realize is, okay, yeah, there's times I hold the door open and then they just walk past me and get all cranked up and don't say anything. They stay, texting on their phone or whatever. They just automatically assume everybody's going to bend over and help them. Well, I know it kind of stinks, but I still keep trying. I still try to find the positive in our society, the race and everything else there. I'm hoping that humans will get better within time and will learn and grow, and which I think we do. We have a lot of beautiful things, a lot of beautiful music, artwork. There's a lot of stuff out there to find positives in. So working through your past traumas is a huge one for me. I've got a lot of them, and like I said, I was raised to compartmentalize them, not talk about them. You don't acknowledge them, nothing. But the nice part about one thing that I think that we've grown in is talking to people, counselors, talking to some religious official, even your friends, just any way of starting the process of healing, I think is a huge thing, because that can kick in depression so fast. You head down a road and sometimes you can't come back. So I found myself heading down that road a couple times, and one time I actually did. I actually tried driving off and driving into a bridge at 90 mile an hour, but I found that something turned the wheel at the last second, so I feel that, okay, there's a reason I'm here. It wasn't my time to go, so at that point, that's when I started to realize, okay, well, I got to be a better person. I've got to, basically put my best step forward, do anything I can to try to help people. I've done that now pretty much my whole life. I did that with my business, trying to help some amazing artisans that we have in this area. They are just absolutely fantastic people. I'm hoping someday to start the business back up again and make sure that I can, sell their stuff. It was incredible. There's so much talent in this area that it just goes unnoticed. But all of that all comes back to, dealing with, the bad stuff. It's going to happen. So some of the symptoms that I kind of wanted to bring up that I found online and stuff there. It'll tell you if you're processing your hurt, if you're processing your pain or not. Some of the things that you can look at, and maybe this will help say, okay, I see this about myself, so maybe what I need to do is make just small change. It's not like you have to go and flip a mountain over there to make instant changes. It doesn't happen overnight. I started this journey after I got my divorce, and like I said, that was 14 years ago. I'm still processing them. I'm still working on them. I'm still trying to make myself a better person. It's a long, long, long road. But the point is you keep trying. Don't give up. There's always some help. There's always something positive around the corner that's going to help you. And remember, just if you start doubting it, just take a break, sit down, breathe for a little bit, and look around and find something positive. So I think if you're at home, it's a good way, because if you set up your safe area, then what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to find something positive and allow you to keep going. Put on some music that you like or whatever it is and stuff, or anything to try to help you through the time. But some of the signs to kind of watch out for, or symptoms you're gonna you keep an eye on, feeling sad or down, which is, I know, goes without saying, but that is one of them. Another one is confused thinking or reduced ability to concentrate. You'll find yourself constantly wondering what if, or you could what if yourself to death. Oh my goodness sakes, you could. And I have. I always worry about what if. I'm always looking ahead. I'm always trying to figure out, okay, what's around the corner. So one thing you want to do is make sure, watch and see how the mind is working. The confused thinking and stuff, if you're starting to try to remember stuff and it just isn't working, that's one thing you got to watch out for. Excessive fears and worries, just like what I was talking about. Extreme feelings of guilt. That second line, extreme feelings of guilt, gets me constantly. I'm not going to lie on that one there. If I eat something wrong, or if I don't stick to my plan, or I have a dessert that I shouldn't have had, man, that just instant. I just don't like the guilt that goes along with it. So one thing that I try to do is I remember that, okay, guilt is sitting in the chair right next to me. I got to make sure that he doesn't push me out and sit in my chair and derail my weight loss journey. So I take steps to make sure that I don't go down the wrong road. That's why I have a safe area at home. Even when you're out and about, if somebody's telling you, okay, well, it's no big deal, just have this piece of pie, or have this piece of cake, or it's okay to have that fried food or whatever it is. And when you know it's not, because you're the one, and when you go home, you got to live with that guilt. You got to live with that. How am I going to get the calories off? How am I going to, that's one thing that you've got to watch. So just watch that real close and pay attention to it. Another sign of, basically depression and stuff there is extreme mood changes of highs and lows. It's very, very easy to feel good and then in the next minute be really, really down. You think of something that makes you sad, makes you a smell. Smells are so powerful. I mean, they'll just instantly whisk you back to the moment. So you have to be really, really careful with those. So, watch those close. Withdrawal from friends and activities. If you see somebody, and this I watch really, really close with my family and friends to see how they're doing. That alone right there is a huge red flag of problems. When I was younger, going through high school and stuff there, I lost 2 friends to suicide. And the worst part of it was I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know that, okay, they're pulling away from me, they're not talking to me, they're shutting down. They didn't want to do anything anymore. They didn't come over to my house. We didn't ride bikes, nothing like that. And I was too young myself at that point to realize that, okay, this is bad. We need to find out what's going on. We need to find out why they're withdrawing. There's always a reason. Now, getting somebody to talk about it, that's a whole nother ballgame. I'll be the first to admit I'm very, very guarded. I'm very closed off. So I don't talk real easy, but I do have a couple people that I talk to, and even with them, they still gotta sometimes take a crowbar to open the door to say, okay, you need to talk, you need to get this off your shoulders. It's poison, you need to get it out of your system. So watch the withdrawal from friends and activities. The last idea and sign to watch for is significant tiredness or low energy or problem sleeping. That alone there, that line there is going to get me in trouble with my friends and family because they're all going, listen to your own advice. First of all, it's not advice, it's information, just so you know. I'm just clearing the air right now, because you know who you are, and I know I'm going to hear about it as soon as they hear the podcast. But yes, I'm always tired. Low energy, not so much that, but problem sleeping is a huge one for me, not going to lie. My mind is just constantly going. I'm always worried about stuff, which does you no good. Anxiety does you no good. But I have gotten a little bit better about it, but it's still, the sleeping part, it still doesn't quite come easily to me. Even with the crystals that I have and stuff around me, they have helped. They help kind of keep the weight off of me. So that way when I do fall asleep, I can sleep, but most of the time when I go into REM sleep, I go into real deep sleep and stuff there, I have nightmares. So I have a hard time sleeping, but I am trying to find ways of doing it. And I know there's products out there, but I just try to stay away from that as much as I can. But if that works for you, hey, please, do whatever it takes to take care of yourself, and do whatever it takes there to help you through the day. That's fine, as long as it's in a positive way, not a negative way. So that way you can continue on, you can continue to move forward, and you don't derail your weight loss journey. But I just want you to know, we're going to talk about this more and more in future podcasts and in more depth. So I just want you to know ahead of time stuff there. I'm not doing this as to drag everything down because I want to keep everything positive, but I truly believe that if you don't address these issues, I can tell you from firsthand, I've tried dieting and stuff there many times throughout my life. And I can tell you every time that I got derailed and I gave up was because of my past traumas. They kept coming back. And I didn't know how to process it. I didn't know how to talk to somebody. And I still, honestly, at times, I still don't know how to talk about my feelings, just because I have to stay, keep everybody at bay. I have to look out for everybody else. It's just the way I was raised. So, there's an old adage that I've heard, everybody's heard, and it says, time heals all wounds. I don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form. It may help, heal some wounds. No doubt about that. Time will help heal some wounds. All wounds, no. Like the loss of my mom and stuff there, that pain and that hurt is so deep, it will never heal. I won't feel better until I cross over and I get to see her again. I get to see my fur babies that are waiting for me on the other side. So at best, I feel maybe they just scab over. But as long as I'm processing them and acknowledging them that they're there so I can help move forward, it has made a significant step forward in my weight loss journey. I don't feel that I've got to eat my feelings anymore. I feel I'm past that. But I don't take that for granted. It's just, as weird as it is to say, overeating is a disease, just like drinking and, basically drinking, drugs, all of that bad stuff. It goes right along with it, because normally it's not just one issue that goes into being overweight. There's typically a lot of things that go into it. And I didn't realize it. It's taken me the better part of my life to realize that, and realize that, hey, I can't move forward until I start processing these. So these dark feelings, these negative feelings, they got to come out. They're poison inside. So I'm learning how to find a healthy and positive environment to release them, so that way I'm not eating my feelings anymore. But like I told you before, as long as you're trying, as long as you're making the attempt and putting one step in front of the next one and stuff there, so you're starting to move forward. You don't have to run. You don't need to solve the problems overnight. You don't need to have all the answers. Just as long as you're trying and moving forward a little bit, you're going to find that it's going to help. And I really believe it's going to help you in your weight loss journey. So it's something that you need to consider, and I'm going to leave that one there. The next section that we're going to talk about is called Avoiding Negative Self-Talk. And I can already hear my friends on the other side of this speaker and stuff. They're going, yeah, okay, this is Mr. King of Negative Self-Talk. And I am. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I haven't got this all figured out. And I'm still going down the weight loss journey myself. But one thing that I try to do is I'm trying to be more cognizant of my negative self-talk. it's very, very damaging on your health. But the thing that I've had to do and I've had to figure out is, all while I was growing up, and I'm not trying to point fingers, but growing up, and this is something that most people don't know, is I was constantly being told I was stupid. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I'm incompetent, worthless, just fat and dumb. I mean, you get the point. When you live in a negative environment like that, you can't help but be hard on yourself. You can't help but pick up those mannerisms. You can't help that being ingrained into your brain. I wish there was like a delete button that we could hit on your brain and it would get rid of all that. It would solve so many problems. Of course, there'd probably be a lot of therapists out of business, but that's a whole different subject. There's a lot of good people out there that are willing to help you. And I know I say that. I've never taken advantage of any of the help that's out there. The only help that I've basically got is I've got a couple good friends that I do talk to, and they're wonderful. They don't go out and blab it on there. I don't put it on social media. I don't, I keep it locked up. But there are times that when I talk to them, I do feel better. So when I feel myself starting to, say, hey, listen here, you big dumb jerk, what were you thinking? I realize, okay, no, I can't do that. I need to stop. And a lot of the times it's out of my mouth and it's like, okay, can I grab those words and put them back in? You can't do that. But the only thing that you can do is try to say, okay, I'm not going to do it again, and continue to move forward. When I stopped, or I haven't stopped, to be honest with you and stuff there, I've probably taken my negative self-talk, I've probably cut it and probably 3/4 from where I was actually, now that I think about it. I'm a lot better at it. Before I started my weight loss journey, it was horrible. I can't even begin to tell you, what I said in this podcast, because basically you'd hear beep, 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 because everything would get bleeped out. And I'm keeping this as a family podcast and very, very clean. So I can't say those words, and it's really not necessary. I'm sure you can figure out some of the words that I say. I'm not going to lie. When I get mad, I get the mouth of a sailor. I can really spit out the bad stuff. But I've been trying to not turn it on myself. One of the biggest ways that I found, my mom has been, when she was around, she was actually my biggest cheerleader with all the books that I have published. Anytime that I needed to talk, she was always there. We would sit on the deck and we would talk for hours at a time and stuff. We would go to veggie markets. We'd go to restaurants together. Anything like that. She was amazing. And I miss her every day. It's hard to get through the day some days, but I still find a way to do it. But besides her helping me through everything and stuff there, it's crazy to sound, so go ahead and laugh all you want to do on this one here. Because I've already jumped off the cliff, I'm guessing, with the crystals and stuff there. You're all thinking, okay, the ones that I've hung on, you're probably going to flip the channel now and shut this off. But as crazy as it sounds, Star Trek helped actually pull me through. They taught me optimism, looking forward. You're better than what you are. You always put somebody else. You're always finding a positive way to get out of it. I know it sounds crazy, but there are so many good things that come out of that series. It's I don't know how to put it. If you like Star Trek, you'll understand where I'm coming from. But They taught me that the negativity and the abuse and everything else that I was going through as a kid was not okay. But if you take this road, look at things differently, do things differently, you actually will come out ahead. And I have. And, there's so many things that I've taken away from that series that helped me who I am today, the morals, the beliefs. I actually taught those to my son, and he, as I've said in other podcasts, he's incredible. He's probably my best friend. I can't imagine going through this life without him. He's amazing. He helps so many people. And I know I'm looking at my monitor and I'm starting to run low on time, but I got to say this. About a month ago, he had went to one of our local grocery stores here and stuff, and it was a Sunday morning, so he went to pick up breakfast for us. and he wanted certain things to make breakfast. Irrelevant. Anyway, he gets through and he sees this wonderful little old lady and stuff there, and he helps her in one of the aisles and stuff to put food in there because she couldn't reach it. Well, he ends up running into her at the checkout line, and she's, you hear the boop, boop, boop as everything's ringing up, and he's standing there, and as the belt emptied out and stuff there, he started putting his food on, and she gets all of hers done in the bag and everything else, and the cashier and stuff there says, it was just using numbers, I don't know what it was, but she owed $100. And she stood there and looked, and she goes, I only have $60. So the cashier goes, well, then we start putting things away. So Alex didn't hear that conversation, but he saw that they were taking stuff out of the bags and putting them back. So he walked in and just politely asked, what's going on? And the lady was so embarrassed she wouldn't even look at him, I guess. And he looked at the cashier and she goes, well, she just doesn't have enough money. And he goes, well, how much is she short? About $40. He took his debit card out and swiped it, and he said, don't put anything away, I will pay for it. And the lady looked up at him with, I guess, tears in her eyes and thanked him for it, because she had just gone through a horrific loss herself. One of her family members had literally just passed away, and she was trying to get food for the family to help him through. So he didn't know any of that. That is the incredible man that I'm proud to say is my son. I couldn't imagine going through this journey without him, my life without him. He's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. So when I hear and see things like that and what he does, I know he's bought lunches for our guys in blue, for the police officers and for the firefighters, and he's incredible. I mean, he's just amazing. So that's things that I do my very best to try not to let him down. I try to always take the high road. I try to be better than I am, and he helps push me that way. So I just want you to know that there's always good out there. You just have to find it and not do the negative self-talk. I'm really getting short on time, so I'm going to try to cruise along here now. But some of the information that I found while I was researching negative self-talk, when I started down this road, these are a couple things that I found. These are directly off the internet, and this is all per a Dr. Alexander that I found, which I thought was pretty neat. But the definition, basically, of self-talk is negative self-talk can have pretty damaging impacts. Negative self-talk has been found to feed anxiety and depression, cause an increase in stress levels while lowering levels of self-esteem. This can lead to decreased motivation as well as greater feelings of helplessness. That is so true. That is exactly what I felt before I started down this road. And a little bit more, the question that was asked is, what do you risk when you engage in a lot of negative self-talk? His answer is people engaging in harmful negative self-talk are much more likely to pull back and isolate themselves. This can become a big risk factor in depression and anxiety, or even suicide. So that's why I wanted to encroach on this, because you are making huge changes. The chemical imbalances that are in your body and your mind are huge. I noticed that in the beginning, it was very tough for me to get past all that. I'm still working on it. I'm still processing. I am still trying to figure it out. So this is not something that's going to happen overnight to get it all worked out. But if you feel comfortable talking to a professional, please do. Just do whatever you can for your overall health, both mental and physical. I can't stress that enough. I've lost a lot of friends to suicide, and I don't want to lose any more. So do everything you can to try to protect yourself and head down the healthy path, the best roads. So I was gonna talk a lot more about this, about healthy snacks to have around, but I'll keep this on the short end because I'm noticing the monitor is saying I'm really short on time. So I try to keep my podcast around 45 minutes, and I've got about a minute and a half left. So the thing that I had to do right away, and it took me a little bit to figure out how to do this, not gonna lie, it took me about 6 months to figure this one out. Healthy snacks to have around. It's absolutely imperative. Everybody, as you have a busy life, you're cruising right along, it's busy. You've got kids in soccer or basketball or baseball. I couldn't tell you how many things that Alex was into and kept me going 9 different ways, plus a 40-hour job, plus taking care of everything at house and the vehicles and the mowing the yard and blah, 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 blah. You know the routine. You know what we're going through. So that's why people just grab like junk food in the house, because you can just it's a quick energy rush. It's a quick eat, you can and go. So I had to figure out, since I didn't have those anymore, I had to figure out what I could use to have like the quick energy, the quick eat something. So some of the things that, because I mean, honestly, I was addicted to donuts. I still am. Lemon meringue pie, all that stuff. Honestly, I don't know how I made it, but I did make it. So I was so afraid when I started down this road. I'm not going to lie. I thought I was going to starve to death. I, honest to God, thought, oh man, what have I set myself up for? I didn't truly take into account the ramifications of my decision, and I've had to learn as I go. So I'm hoping maybe some of this information will help you avoid that. But some of the things that I keep around in the house and down at my desk at my work are beef sticks for my local butcher. I try to buy local as much as I possibly can. Those things are fantastic. They're pure protein, low in calories. They're fantastic because they'll help pull you through everything. They'll give you some instant energy. And they're easy. I mean, you can pull them out of the fridge and keep on going. You don't need a napkin or anything like that to keep going. Lots and lots of cheese. Wisconsin, I'm sure, has been happy since I've jumped on board this weight loss program. Since they're the cheese state, I eat tons of cheese. It helps me because I can't take in anything dairy. Just some reason my body just doesn't like it. So I have lots and lots of cheese. I have Honey Nut Cheerios available to me. They help with just a little bit of sweetness, but it's grains that help get into the body and stuff, and they're relatively low in calories. One of my favorite things, and I will put a picture of this on my Facebook page, Sean G. Morris's Facebook page, is Smart Food Popcorn. I don't know who came up with that company. I don't know how they come up with it, but they are fantastic. I love them. I'm not getting paid to say that. I'm just telling you I couldn't tell you how many bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of this popcorn, because it's low in calories, but it's got a good flavor, and it helps you when you're moving around, like if I'm cleaning the house or I'm down at work or whatever it is. I can put like a little bit in a bowl and I can carry it with me, and it gives you get to eat, but it keeps all your numbers down. But that's one thing that helps you. If you get a little nervous, you can eat. We all eat when we get nervous. So, the popcorn helps me. Granola, which, honest to God, swear in a Bible, I never thought I'd ever eat. I tried it a couple times before. Couldn't stand it. But now that I didn't have much of a choice, I actually eat granola. It turns out really well. I keep around Nutri-Grain bars. These are higher in calories, but there are times that, as I've told you before, you bottom out, you run out of energy and stuff. They're like as low as I run. The Nutri-Grain bars are about 120 calories and stuff. They're roughly per bar. They got some good flavors. I love them. I use those to help get me going again. I have them at home. I have them at work. I have them in my truck. It's fantastic. I love those things. So those are really, really good things. I just have to watch it because it really can pump in some serious calories into my overall total real quick. Grapes, oranges, bananas. Keep in mind that those have natural sugars and stuff there, but I love grapes. Oh my goodness sakes. I can sit down and eat a whole bunch of them, which is of course not good for you, and will give you an upset stomach. I've learned that a few times. But those are some of the things that I keep around. There's probably more, but that's what I can think of off the top of my head right now. So, as you know, I don't do veggies. That's up to you. If you want to have your celery sticks or your carrot sticks or whatever it is, whatever makes you happy, you go right out ahead and do it. Please do. Because remember, that's your weight loss journey. You have to do what's best for you. This is just what I do for my weight loss journey. I'm just hoping maybe some of this information will help you as you head down the road for yours. So, but I have found just keeping easily grabbed munchies, food, and different things like that help me from derailing my own journey. So I make sure, I used to have just chocolate and cookies around, and I can't do that anymore. So I had to get smarter about what I could grab, what I could eat. And this is what I have found. This is what works for me. I hope some of it maybe will work for you. But that's pretty much my healthy snacks that I have around the house. So just remember that some of the stuff here, it's going to take a little bit longer for prep time. Not much, but the more you plan ahead, the more you prep your snacks and stuff there, you're going to be better. You're going to feel better after you have the snack or whatever. You're going to feel like, oh wow, I didn't have 12 dozen cookies there to help me get through and stuff there. You had a couple pieces of orange or some grapes or whatever it is, whatever makes you happy and stuff there and helps you get through while not adding a lot of calories and stuff there and not derailing your journey. that's exactly what you want to go with. So, but just keep in mind, it's going to take time to figure all that out. You're going to, some friends maybe come up with an idea and stuff there to help you. Have you tried this? Have you, whatever it is, that's what you want to do. Remember, it's your body, it's your journey. You make the decisions. Make sure they're just positive. That's all I ask. So just do your best in that area. And I will try to have other snacks and foods and different things on my Facebook page. So that way, maybe something that we do, you may like it, or maybe what that'll do is it'll give you an idea or make you think in a different way. Think, oh, hey, maybe this will work for me. So then you go and try it. So just remember to always set yourself up to succeed. You don't want to fail. Planning ahead, to me, has been the key to winning so far at this battle. So that's all I can tell you right now. I'm going to end it. I am way past the normal time that I like to stay. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, and keep in mind, we're going to be talking more about, traumas and, depression and all that stuff, in future podcasts, because I want to help you, because it's been so basically enlightening to me to process this, to go through it, and it's helped me on my weight loss journey. And I can guarantee you, I promise you, and I don't break my promises, that if I hadn't started processing this, working through this, admitting that there's problems and stuff there, bad things that are bothering me, I would have derailed months ago, and I would have given up, and I'd have gained all my weight back. I would have just gone the wrong way. So the mental part of it, like I said, the mental battle of losing weight and stuff there, I think is tougher than actually losing the actual weight off of your body. So do whatever you can to protect your mental health, your emotional health, and then your physical health will kind of come along with it, because it'll be easier to go through this journey compared to trying to fight all of the mental stuff along with the physical stuff. So keep that in mind. I know it's no fun, but if there's something that I can do, let me know. Shoot me an email. You're welcome to email me anytime at seangmorse@gmail.com. That's SEANGMORSSE@gmail.com. You're welcome to email me anytime. I will try to do my best to answer all the emails rolling in. I've started getting a couple, so I want to try to maintain that stuff there. But when all's said and done, that's basically all I have for this podcast today. I'm almost 10 minutes over, so we're cruising right along here. So I want to, as always, tell you, you got this. No matter what, don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the negativity. Don't let anybody tell you that 1 pound that you lost for the past week and stuff there is just like, whoop-de-doo, Basil. It's not. It is fantastic. Don't let them derail you. Don't let them take away. Don't let them chip away at your mental health and your emotional health. You say, you know what? Hey, I'm doing this for me. I'm happy. I'm on the right track. What are you doing? Put it back in their court. Let them figure out, oh, wait a minute, that's not fair. You turn it on me. Well, guess what? When you attack me, that's what you get. I'm going to take the positive road and just say, you know what? This is what I'm doing for myself, and I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you heading down this road. This is a very, very difficult road, and you're choosing to go down it. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. That's why I always tell you, you got this. I mean, we've got this together. I mean, I've dropped 200 pounds. If I can do it, and I'm just Mr. Joe Blow on the street, there's nothing fancy about me. I don't have papers hanging on the wall say, hey, you're the smartest person on the face of the earth. I don't have anything like that. I'm just me. I'm just talking to you, giving you some information, and loving taking the trip with you. I'm hoping someday there that folks will start telling me how far they've come, send pictures. I want to support you in any way that I can, and that's the way that I can do it. So, hey, this is wonderful. Don't let anybody take away from your mental health or nothing like that there. Just remember, when all's said and done, you got this. I believe in you, and that's all that matters. You got it. You got this. You got this. You got this. I can't say it enough. So I'm going to end the podcast there with my typical dad joke of the day. Get ready to groan. This is a pretty good one. I'm pretty proud of it because it's so close to St. Patrick's Day. I found this one, so I thought this was really cool. So here's the dad joke of the day. Do you know why it is a bad idea to iron your 4-leaf clover? Because you shouldn't press your luck. Remember that one next time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed Bravery Within. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All my love and support.